Aprilia's line of 125cc supermoto bikes hasn't evolved since 2005, but two new and very racy models derived from their big brothers, the RXV and SXV 450. The RX and SX 125 are looking to stand out from a prolific list of rivals that are perhaps not quite as much fun. These two femme fatale are ready to take on their Japanese counterparts. The Alice Motor Racing Complex allowed us to test these bikes in ideal conditions, and we'll start with the SX Supermoto model. As you may have spotted, this little bike is powered by a single-cylinder two-stroke engine, which should remind some of us of our childhood. And that's just fine, because these 125s stand apart from their rivals. We test rode the two models that are homologated for France in order to see if the limit of 15 horsepower isn't too castrating. First impression, the 125 four-strokes are not a match. The power is available throughout the rev band with a very short range, but between 7 and 10,500 RPM you can get the impression it isn't bridled. For the rest, rider comfort isn't a priority. The seat is hard. In town it becomes downright boring having to play with the gearbox to keep the RPMs up. It does excel on the track though, thanks to a solid and sane party cycle, an efficient but non-adjustable fork and tremendous stopping power. This Aprilia comes with Pirelli Diabo rubber with a 150 at the back to help you lean over as much as you like. The diminutive Aprilia provides a ton of sensations, but you'll have to make concessions when it comes to comfort and upkeep that certain Japanese four-strokes do not. As is Aprilia's custom, the design is very angular and stunning. Perched on its big wheels, the RX 125 is imposing for a small engine capacity bike, and you'll note that it tips the scales at 116 kilos. The elegant and sporty lines will without any doubt be a hit with young riders. The only thing that differentiates the two bikes besides the colour are the wheels, 21 inches at the front, 18 at the rear for the RX, that with its large suspension clearance offers a lofty riding height of 935mm. Very nicely equipped with a 40mm fork and Brembo twin-piston front brakes, the RX should have no problems leaving the road and tracks for more challenging rides. The steel trellis frame is fantastic. It houses the monocylinder two-stroke engine that's been given a Nickersill treatment to elongate the lifespan of the parts. There's no starter, you just have to give it a good old-fashioned kickstart and you're on your way. The RX and SX can sometimes be recalcitrant when starting. The elements for road use, headlights and turning signals are passable. The display is basic but rather complete. It has a shift light but no fuel gauge. You'll have to be careful not to run dry. The petrol tank is only 10 litres. We'll see if this RX can put the Japanese four-strokes to shame on the higher portions of the Alice complex. On the dirt, the fact that this RX is limited to 15 brake horsepower does complicate the situation. Keeping the revs up is primordial, which is normal for a 125 two-stroke, but you also have to play a lot with the clutch, which soon tires from such mistreatment. For the more technical bits, the full power version will be a lot more exploitable. For a cruise around, the 15 horsepower version is more than adequate though. The RX is nicely suspended, agile and safe. Only its seat height could be a concern for smaller riders, as it's just as tall as the big RXV 450. Some prefer the roundness of the four-stroke, but it will seriously diminish the fun. Each has its advantages and its downsides. For sure, the RX emphasises its sporting nature, whether it's comfort level or even the upkeep needed. The little Aprilia is more of an action bike than a leisure one. The Aprilia RX and SX 125s have competition DNA, near-perfect photocopies of the bigger 450 bikes. They're smart and well worth considering. Less versatile than the competing four-strokes, more exclusive, they attract enthusiasts looking in search of performance and ready to make sacrifices for their passion. But at more than €4,900, there's a price to pay.